Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm doing a first impression of the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette. I love the last one that they put out, the semi-sweet chocolate bar. So when I first saw that they put out this palette, I wasn't really sure how I felt about it because it came with shades like this. I don't wear these colors like ever, so I didn't really know if I wanted this palette, and every time I went into Sephora I would check to see if they had it just so I could check the palette out. They never had it in any of the stores here in Vancouver, but I think Andy took that as a hint and he bought it for me for Christmas, which is really cool because now I'm able to do this review for you guys, but I still wasn't really sure if I wanted the palette, I'm just being honest. As for the packaging, I think this is adorable. I really love the pink. And inside, I'm really drawn to these heart-shaped eyeshadows. I think that's a really cute accent to this palette. The smell, definitely there. It still smells just as good as the other ones. I love that about these palettes. Just so you guys know, I did get mine, well, Andy bought mine from Sephora online, and Canadian pricing was about $59. Now, I gotta do a few swipes of these to see just how pigmented they are, and I'm instantly drawn to this pink. Not that I want to use it on my eyes, but I want to see how much pigment is in this shadow. Looks like a lot right there. Woo! That's bright. That's like fluorescent bright. Oh my gosh, I just noticed the name. That one's called Totally Fetch. Awesome! Now I'm gonna try Bordeaux. Oh, yep, the pigment looks just as good as the last palette. Let's try another one. Dark Truffle. Oh, that's gorgeous! I'm curious. We're trying the purple. This is called Black Currant. That one doesn't look as pigmented as the other ones. I think it's because of the sparkle in it though. Let's try this one, Molasses Chip. I'm really drawn to this one. That one is pretty. And let's do Earl Grey. It's the blue. Whoa. I gotta tell you, I usually don't want to do blue on the eyes, but I'm thinking that would look really great with like a black, like a smoky eye. Alright, so we did a few swatches. I think they're just as pigmented as they say. I really like that about the Too Faced shadows. And I do like the fact that the palette has matte tones, has these ones which are a little bit more glittery, and then these which are more satin. They all feel really smooth. And now I think we should start trying it on the eye. Now usually when I'm trying out a new eyeshadow palette for you guys, I want to try the bright ones just so that you guys can see what you can do with them. But I usually regret that because I'm a neutral girl. So I think I'm going to try and show you guys the best look I can do today with the neutrals in this palette. And I think I want to start with this. It's called Molasses Chip. This is like the one that I'm just drawn to. I'm always drawn to these colors and palettes. And I'm just going to apply this all over the lid. Whoa, that looks way different than it looked in the palette, or am I crazy? It looks like it's going to be more of a gold, but on the lid it almost looks like it's a copper. Alright, so now I think I'm going to put almond. Oh, that might be a bad idea because that looks like it's going to go. You see, I was going to use that almond truffle in the crease, but this could potentially go a little bit pink on my skin. You can already see it doing that on my wrist. So I'm going to steer away from that, and instead I'm going to use mocha. This one looks like it's going to be a little bit warmer. So I'm just going to pop this in the crease and focus it to the outer edge of the eye. And this one is a matte shadow. This one almost looks a little bit gray. It could be because of the shadow I used underneath it. So this mocha shade is definitely not what I thought it was going to be. I was actually, again, hoping it was going to be a little bit more brown. And that's when I started to look at the palette because I wanted to go in for a darker brown, like a medium brown, even a dark brown. And that's what this palette's actually really missing because I was going to use this, but this has a little bit too much like red in it. And this multi-shadow has flecks of gold in it, but looking at the palette, I think that's my only option with a neutral eye, like to darken it up. So we're going to use a little bit of Malted, I guess. So that definitely darkens it up, which is good, but I gotta tell you, I'm not liking this color combo here, especially not this. So I gotta add another shade in there. As much as I wanted to keep this a neutral eye, I don't think that adding the satin sheets on there is gonna make, well, let's see. So that's definitely better. It brought a little bit more of the gold back in because that's what was missing here. It just had no warmth, and I definitely like that a lot better. Satin sheets for the win. But I'm going to go back in with the mocha shade and with that same brush and just kind of go over the edges here so there's no harsh lines. And because it's such a light color, this is probably going to blend together seamlessly, which is good. Now I'm going back in on the outer edges and just darkening it up with that same brown shadow. But what I'm finding is that it's hard to build up, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, maybe just the intensity because of the fact that you don't have a matte brown or dark, even like a black in the palette, because it's looking a little bit frosty. Not that that's like a bad thing, but if you were going for more of like a matte look, you don't have a matte dark shadow in the palette. Does that make sense? I hope so. Now it needs a little bit of shadow on the brow bone, so it seems only fitting to use the lightest shadow in the palette. So I'm going to take a little bit of that and pop it right on the bone. That works pretty well. And I'm taking the brown shadow and I'm just going to trace this along my lower lash line and connect it up to the top. And I'm just doing the exact same thing to the lower lash line that I did to the top. So just using those 3 shadows again and connecting them into each other. I gotta say, I really like this satin sheet shade. Satin sheet shade. Now I'm going to use a little bit of liner and just rim my waterline. Top 2. And give my lashes a quick curl and apply some mascara. Alright, and you guys know I'm a wing liner girl all the way, but I wanted to keep it to a really simple liner today so that the shadows could really show and you could focus on that rather than like the wing liner. And I kind of want to take this one step further, and this is usually where I look back and regret doing it because I'm like, oh, it was so good just as is. But I want to try this, just in between the darkest shade and the middle shade, just to see if it'll warm it up just a bit and add a little bit more dimension. I think it makes it a little bit more interesting. I don't know, you guys can be the judge. So let me give you my final thoughts on this palette now. I like it, I just don't love it. And don't get me wrong, I'm really digging this color combo and it makes me happy to know that I could create this look using this palette. But if I had to compare this palette to another one, and it seems only right to compare it to another chocolate bar palette from Too Faced, I would prefer the semi-sweet more just because I am a neutral girl and I feel like I could make more looks using this palette versus this one. But with that said, this palette actually has some bright shadows, whereas this one doesn't, except for like that blue there that I never really want to use either, but that's his personal preference. So if you are wanting to create some more bold looks or be a little bit more creative, this palette definitely has these shadows for you to work from. But after using it, I feel like these are the ones that I'm mostly drawn to. But over here on this side, I just feel like they're all very pale and don't really complement my skin all that well. Like this one right here, I don't ever see myself using it because on the eyelid, that would just make me look ill. Like even with other color combinations, I just don't see myself using that one. And I feel like if you have fair skin, these ones would look awesome on you. A lot of these ones would look awesome on you. Maybe you're just starting out with makeup. I probably wouldn't lean towards this one for your first palette. I would probably go towards something like this that has a little bit more variety. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed my first impression of the Bonbons palette. Let me know if you've tried it. I want to hear what you guys think of it. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.